Hi everyone. So Donald Tusk was at the G20 in Argentina yesterday, and while everybody was talking about Putin giving MBS a high five and saying how terrible is that, just, oh God, people in the UK, you sold $4.8 billion of weapons to them last year. What's worse, $4.8 billion of weapons or a high five? What do you think we should be talking about? Anyway, I digress, because Donald Tusk was there and he did a little speech on Brexit, as is the case now. Every politician in the EU and UK, when they stand up, they have to make a speech about Brexit. And this is what he said, a little bit of it. 45 seconds this is.
The European Union has just agreed an orderly divorce with the United Kingdom. A few days before the vote in the House of Commons, it is becoming more and more clear that this deal is the best possible. In fact, the only possible.
The only possible deal, he says.
If this deal is rejected in the Commons, we are left with, as was already stressed a few weeks ago by Prime Minister May, an alternative. No deal or no Brexit at all. I want to reassure you that the EU is prepared for every scenario.
So this comes on the back of the day before Mark Carney of the Bank of England came out with that apocalyptic forecast of if we have no Brexit, if we have a no-deal Brexit, then the economy is going to suffer a recession the likes of which we haven't seen since the 1930s. It's scaremongering. This is what it is, and they are all going to be doing it. There's another 10 or 11 days until that vote, and it is going to get ramped up, and it's going to be constant. They are going to do it all the time. Every time one of them gets up and does a speech, they're going to be doing it. I'm talking specifically those who support it. By the way, obviously a lot of people don't, and that's why it probably won't get through the House of Commons. But they're trying to whip up fear here, and enough fear in the general population to actually make the politicians who are going to be voting on this change their minds. They're trying to change public opinion by doing it. Let me explain something to Donald Tusk and Theresa May, something that they may not be aware of. This sort of tactic, this sort of scenario where you've got unelected bureaucrats. We didn't elect Donald Tusk. I didn't have a vote on him, did you? When you've got unelected bureaucrats telling the British public, you have to do this, you have to act this way, you have to talk this way, you have to think this way, you have to vote this way. When you've got unelected bureaucrats and people are so out of touch telling the general populace what to do, telling 20% of the nation who are in poverty that it's going to get worse for you. Guess what, Donald Tusk and Theresa May? Something you don't quite understand. For those people, for those 20% of the nation who are in poverty right now, and remember, in impoverished areas voted overwhelmingly to leave. For those people, they don't think that their lives can get any worse. You cannot scare them. In fact, your words are just going to make them more and more angry, and they're going to dig their heels in more and more, as they did in 2016, and go, F you, Donald Tusk, F you, EU, we're out. Hardest Brexit possible, I don't care what the consequences are. That is what people are going to think. Why? Because they still don't get it. After 2.5 years of this bullshit, they still don't get it. It wasn't racism that led to Brexit. It wasn't any bigotry. Some of it did play a factor, but the main reason that Brexit happened and the main reason that people voted to leave the EU was populism. It was a F you to the establishment. Stop telling me what to do. Stop telling me what to think. Stop telling me what to say. Stop telling me how to vote and how to run my life. That is what people voted Brexit for. And the more people like Donald Tusk and the more people like Theresa May stand up and try and fearmonger on a bluff, it's a total bluff, I am sure of it. I am sure this is a total bluff. I am sure if it does get voted down on the 11th of December, you're going to see a lot of things happen very quickly. Very quickly. I would say Theresa May would probably resign the next day, but I'm never writing her off in future. Never. The woman's got alligator blood, as I've said many times. But there are so many different scenarios. Another deal could be negotiated. They could extend Article 50 for another year. There are so many different possibilities. Standing there and saying it's this deal or it's no deal or it's no Brexit is fearmongering, it's lies and it's wrong. And the people of this country are going to again stand up and go, you. That is what they don't get it. They just don't get it. And you know what? I don't think they ever will. If you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and click the bell below so you get a notification of when I drop further videos. Independent voices like mine, I'm sure you're aware by now, are being censored across all social media platforms, so please like and comment on the videos. That really does help the channel out, and share the videos wherever you can to grow the audience. If you can, please support me on Patreon. You can do it for as little as $1 a month. I cannot do this without your help. I rely on your donations. Thanks very much for your support. It really is appreciated. Until next time, peace and take care.